So, I saw a number of videos come across the YouTube feed, and I feel like there's some brainwashing going on. So, because I came to the conclusion brainwashing was going on, I figured I'd set something straight. The bank did not invent homes. So, in case you're wondering, like, I just popped on this video by accident, or I don't even know this kid, or isn't this Honest Tools Reviews? Yes. Okay. Throw all your questions out the door and just Google banks invented homes, and you'll probably get a video, probably linked to Facebook or TikTok, where a number of different influential rich millionaires are saying they rent their house because it's cheaper. Okay. Then they keep going and they say, well, because houses are designed and built, for banks, because a bank makes money from it by selling it to you. And yeah, they kind of do, but stay with me. Then they go on to say that they don't buy anything that doesn't earn them money, that the house doesn't earn them money. A different person says something along the lines of, they're making money off of every dollar you pay to buy the house. Well, yes, that's true too. Okay. But here's what I think is happening, and it's just something I'm putting out there, and it's crazy. It is crazy. Get ready for your tinfoil hats here. So there's been a number of things that have been put out by people in high positions, and it's trickled down and affected things in their favor. There are companies right now buying houses left and right. Buying it. There is a town that actually has about 40 houses owned by the Vanguard company, renting them out. Vanguard is not supposed to be a rental company. And yes, any company has the rights to become a rental company. But what's going on here, and I'll even turn down my air conditioning to get this straight. What's going on here is you're hearing that it's okay to rent property your entire life. And it is okay if that's what you want to do. But then you're hearing a hard argument towards you should continue or choose to want to rent the rest of your entire life. And if you want to do something, you're going to do it. Some blonde 28-year-old dude's not going to convince you otherwise. But hear me out. These guys in these positions can afford to buy those houses. If you're not buying these houses, they can buy those houses because you got to rent. So if you're renting and they buy the house is making them money. By discouraging people to own a house, they can get more passive income. I feel like that's enough said. But let me go a little step further, because the claim that some of them are making continuously that houses were invented by the bank. No. Where did we live before banks? I'm sorry, did we live in a swamp? Underneath a lily pad? Did we live? We did live in caves at one point, but we crawled out of the caves. You know how there's this slur for white people where we're called woods? Google it. Well, we haven't always lived in the woods either. Believe it or not, even though some people live in huts, some people live in farms, some people live in giant caverns, some people live in teepees, some people live in, oh, wait, that's right, buildings that are called houses and homes and they've existed since before banks. When people were trying to find America and they were going to sail around all the way around the planet, they hit ground here in America. They came off their boats. They built log cabins. That's a home. People that were pioneers here that built a homestead. That's a home. Indians, they had teepees and huts and small villages and communities. It's not the most luxurious thing, but it is their home. And it would be belittling to the Indian folk to pretend that their huts and houses are not homes. Okay? So, just because a building has a shit ton of credit and pull and leadway, and they have someone else's money, doesn't mean they should own the house and you should pay them money to rent. I don't believe in that. North Carolina State Employees Credit Union, my bank, advertises constantly about houses they have for rent. Pay your rent to the bank. Why not buy it? Well, as long as they're renting it, you're going to keep paying for it. There you go. I don't know if banks are trying to commit this little brainwashing thing to get everyone to stop buying houses and be independent or what. But be it the rich people or be it the rich banks, let me give you some more advice. If you own a home and the toilet downstairs stops working, yes, you are responsible for fixing it. But you can fix it yourself. That's a thing. You're allowed to fix it yourself. You're not, that was a cop. You're not required to fix it. If you're renting, you're not allowed to fix it. Your slumlord will make you wait 3 weeks or a month or 2 months, and you'll have to threaten to stop paying rent to get him to do it. I rented a trailer one time. I had a job where my toolbox had to come home from work because I changed positions in the company. And when I brought the toolbox home and put it inside my bedroom, toolbox fell through the floor. Well, one, I wasn't allowed to have a shop outside because it wasn't my property. Two, I mean, it was a small Walmart toolbox, rolling stand-up Stanley toolbox. There wasn't that much in it. I carried it in my arms. What happened is, the roof was leaking, it was running down the outside wall, not messing up the interior wall, and settling in the floor right there, and it fell through. Well, it didn't just fall through. I mean, it fell through in the middle of the night. It scared the crap out of me. I'd reached for a gun. I was pointing. Anywho, every bit of that just, thrown out the window. I had a refrigerator breakdown, and I wasn't allowed to recharge the refrigerator with refrigerant. I wasn't allowed to replace the refrigerator. For a month and a half, I had no refrigerator, no way to keep food in the house, and I was forced to go out and eat constantly or go to eat at somebody else's house because I had no other way to keep food cold long enough and decently enough to eat it. I wasn't going to put like a cake or like pre-made sandwiches for work and all inside of a big cooler. One, I didn't have one. And two, afterwards, I'd have nowhere to put the cooler. And three, anything that might be prone to getting wet would get wet from the ice melting. Renting means you can't decide whether or not your car can have the license plates taken off. Because when I stayed in Lucama at Rouse's trailer park, yeah, I'm calling him out, God rest his soul, poor old man, I think he passed away. I signed a document that said if there was no license plates on my vehicle for 3 days, he gained rights to ownership of that vehicle and could get it within 2 more days. Well, so you have a car, it breaks down. You know it's going to be a couple of weeks. You park it. You've got to keep the insurance on it, or immediately take it to the mechanic shop. Because if you take the license plates off of it and ponder selling it or trying to hold some of your insurance money to save up to fix it, you're going to lose it. I did actually have a toolbox outside for a short period of time before my toolbox fell through the floor. Well, the neighbor saw the toolbox. It was a truck toolbox sitting in the backyard, and I used that because it should be waterproof to store a couple of things. Well, I came home one day and someone had drilled through the lock and stole stuff out of it. Like everything. So, wouldn't it happen if I had my own shop? Little 8x12, 8x10, 8x8 shop that I could have locked up, put a camera in it. And I just do not like renting. I do not. I get a house, I could get a single wide trailer on 1 acre of land and it's mine. I can put a shop out there. I can jack up a car and work on my crap myself. I can have people over because it's my damn shop. I don't understand this idea of being a slave to somebody else. Right now I am renting. I'm renting 1 bedroom and it is miserable. But I know the left, the Democrats, all of them want to live in these big cities and these apartment buildings, and all of them want to stay on their video game systems 24/7 and have government money funneled to them constantly. And they don't care about going outside and fixing their car or anything else. For them, that's probably fine. But these people are trying to convince you and me and everyone else that wants to own a home not to own a home. Screw that.